What's up, guys? This is no scheduled schedule thing. I'm just gonna roll one out, and you can accompany me. Anyway, so I've been thinking, and I've actually been thinking less now, and just feeling more, I guess. What is it that I'm trying to say? I just go in circles sometimes. I really just. It's not like I actively try to figure shit out, like I'm sitting there thinking about something. It's just like my brain just doesn't let shit go. And then it just keeps coming back to it and keeps adding and subtracting and doing whatever it needs to do. But now recently it has been more of a realizational thing, not even like revelations type, like it is kind of revelatory, yeah, but what I would usually I don't know if I call it revelation before. It's like before I would classify revelation as something that I was thinking about actively and not something that just kind of clicked, even though it is kind of like that anyway. So what are the revelations that I've had yesterday? It is one of these things where I tell you I think people are not gonna get it or just gonna see the wrong in it or just, I don't know, whatever they wanna do. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that I had this realization yesterday about about everything, I guess. And I don't even know how to explain to people. Because I've been playing with that idea in my head for a while now. The concept has been introduced to me last year, I believe, during a trip. And yesterday it felt like I was tripping, even though I wasn't tripping. I just came from work and I haven't even smoked yet. And the realization was like, it was a weird thing, it's like, how can I explain it the best? Like, it's about giving yourself up. And I always knew that at some point I had to like give up my ego and like not see myself that way, like the way that we usually see each other, see ourselves. And it was kind of distant because like the idea of letting go of your ego, letting go of yourself is very difficult because you are your ego, you are your persona that you're playing at the moment. But for some reason, the way that it was put to me, it literally felt like a higher presence was there and kind of guiding me, kind of like giving me these principles, sort of. The principle is like, it goes a bit deep. It's about, like I said, losing yourself. And I said dying. I said being willing to die in a way of being willing to lose everything that you have. And I'm talking about material. I'm talking about more emotional stuff. Like, imagine the worst thing that could happen to you. Being okay with that. Being willing to take that on. And the reason why it's difficult for me to say it, because if I say it like this, like, okay, like, think about the worst things that could happen to you, like, there's a reason why you can't accept that. There's a reason why you can't be like, okay, if that happens to me, then that happens to me and that's okay. The reason why I could accept it is because like I said, there was this presence here in my room right here, and it felt like, just from knowing, that felt like the most devoted you could be to God, by just technically, I wrote shit down and just say like accepting your role, whatever role is God has put onto you, whatever things God has put into your life, be it struggle, be it success, it is part of your role. And your biggest devotion that you can do to God is, first of all, have trust and have faith, and second of all, play your role. So let me think about it. I wrote down, like, before, like, in front of God's feet, every role is equal. Like, it doesn't matter if you're playing the successful businessman or just a homeless person. To God it's the same. You understand? And that's why I needed to understand. That's why I needed to understand there is nothing bad in playing a bad role or playing a thing that we think is bad. There's nothing bad in, how do you say it, in defeat. There's nothing even bad in evil. Like, this is how far I'm thinking. If, let's say, if my role is supposed to be evil, then I'll be evil. But not because I like being evil. It sounds so fucking ridiculous. That's why I don't really like to express such thoughts. It's like, I will be evil in the name of God. You understand what I'm saying? If God wants me to be evil, I'm evil to fulfill his purpose, because that's what he wants me to do. And yeah, the same way, if I'm homeless, if I'm sick, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take his role. And the funny part is, like, the more I started thinking about that, the more grateful I became. I became incredibly grateful, and I understood that it was now I'm starting to understand it's reciprocity. I don't know how to say that word exactly, but I felt God was thankful too, because, like I said, in my mind, that is the highest form of devotion. Because, to be honest, if we live in this world, there is a lot of shit that can hurt us, a lot of shit that can go wrong, and if you just willingly accept all of these things and put yourself in God's hands, you're always in God's hands. But a lot of people are fighting it. I was like, I'm not as far as I'd like to be, but I'm starting to get to that point where I'm dedicating my life to God, not in the way that most people think. I'm dedicating my life to God while still living my life in a way, because how do I say this? Like I said, by playing my role, experiencing my role, and throwing myself in front of God and being thankful for what I have, that is, for me, that means I'm living a devout life. That's devoting your life to God doesn't always mean being a priest or going to the mountains and meditate all day. To me, is how I figured it, literally taking shit however it comes, and to lose yourself, lose your ego. The important part is not even about like being closer to God or like getting plus points to go to heaven or some shit. It's just about living, accepting shit. The ego part is very important, to let go of our ego and do things for God and the glory of God. And the problem why I even like I cringe a little bit when I say like that, because I remember people talk like that when I would watch that, and I wouldn't understand it. I would think it's just some religious whatever. I'm not religious. I don't have any religion. I believe in God and the Most High, the universal presence, whatever you want to call him. I don't have a specific name for it, but I know how the presence feels like. And no matter what religion I pray to, the presence feels the same to me. So let me get what I wrote down. Hold on. Ain't that something? Right now, I can't seem to find it. But what I wrote down technically is like this. Like, be willing to lose everything. Be willing to look bad. Be willing to look foolish. Be willing to die. Be willing, like, I never was afraid of death, of being dead, but dying, like, you could get shot, you could get run over, but whatever. I always had kind of a bit of tension behind that. Luckily, I've come to the point where I'm not even afraid of dying, the process itself. I could taste, talk, and say whatever it is, right? But when the situation comes, it could be something completely different. But this is how I feel. This is how my attitude towards death is, that I feel like if someone would put a gun towards my head, I would smile. I would just be like, if that is my way, that is my way. If that is how I'm supposed to go, that is how I'm supposed to go. And I feel like with this attitude is the same when you do something and you are willing to be wrong, look foolish, be seen as something that you are not. That is a devout way of living. You have trust in God. You have trust in yourself. You know yourself. It's a bad example, but it kind of fits into that. So at my work, like I did something that they needed for the next day, and I did it and I put it someplace, but the other person didn't find it. And then the next day somebody told me, hey, you need to watch that you did this and did this. Obviously I could have been like, I could have went to the person who didn't find it and was like, yo, why didn't you do this? Now people think that I did the bad shit, blah 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 blah. But that was to me like a little test, a little exercise. I didn't succeed 100% at it, but like mostly I did. Where I could have go like, yo, it was my mistake, God. I accepted that. I was willing to look bad in someone else's eyes, even though I know it's not like that. Because I know it's not like that, and the reason I was willing to look bad in front of someone, because I have faith, I have trust. I feel a certain way. The last couple of days I've been feeling a certain way, and I don't know if it means I'm gonna reach a new me or I'm gonna die soon. Like for some reason I feel like I'm gonna get sick or something. I hope not, but like I said, if I get sick, that's God's way. That's the purpose. If I get to 25, like that would be like, that'd be it. The reason why I'm talking about this is because, like I said, it just kind of clicked. It wasn't a thing that I was actively thinking about. It was just something that in myself I just got okay with. I was okay with it. Just like I'm okay with dying now. I'm okay with it. And that's what got me thinking, like, am I gonna die soon? Like, what the fuck is because sometimes like your body or your soul knows something, and then it prepares you for it, and then it gets here. So I'm wondering how long I'm actually gonna be here for. We'll see. But even if it's just tomorrow, even if I go tomorrow, I swear to you, I swear on everything. If a car is gonna come, and I will smile from face to face, because I've done my purpose. This is my show. This is my time. I'm gone. I hope it will be like that, because to be honest, like, we can always say shit, and when the moment arrives, it's something different. But at the other hand, we always know when we just bullshitting to ourselves, and we know when we're real about something. And I feel very real about this. And yesterday, when I had this realization of, like, let me go back. Like, what do you get out of it? Like, most people, they want to get something out of it. I just don't want to get nothing out of it. I just want to kind of like have no desire, be like spiritually enlightened in a way that I just have not that a connection with the world. I'm not attached to anything, but I'm still living in it. I'm still playing my role, you know what I'm saying? And what I got from it is, like, I've been thinking about this shit. I want to be honest and fearless in myself. Just be me, whatever. And the reason that I wasn't able to do is because I was afraid to die. I was afraid to lose myself, to look bad in front of people. So you hold yourself back. Once you accept that, then it is what it is. Then these other things get easier. Then you will speak your mind, because that's what it is. Because you're not afraid to look bad then. And it's not about, oh, I wanna speak my mind, that's why I'm speaking my mind. That is good, but that's still some ego shit. It was more of a, I'll speak my mind, so I'll speak my mind. So that's the paradox about life. Like, that's the fucking shit that you don't get. The more you look, the less you find. The more you want shit, the less you're gonna get it. That's fucking life. That's the universe. That's a principle. That's a principle of nature, of law, whatever. And the funny part is, like, as soon as I renounced everything yesterday morning, I renounced honor, I renounced goodness, I renounced everything. I felt like, God, that was the moment where God really said, like, okay, like, now that all of this shit is clear, I want to show you who you really are. I want to show you what you're really about. And then you don't need all that shit, because all that shit that I'm trying to reach, see it be like me working out, me making music, me where I'm trying to reach somewhere, this is getting hold back by by the fear of death, by fear of losing. And I realized once, like, if I lose this, if I lose my attachment to this, if I lose my my fear of dying, I will automatically get there. That's like the lesson that I kind of got out of it. And like, why? What I know about it is why. I know it ain't just me being crazy, and that too. Am I being crazy? Okay, if I'm really being crazy, then that's who I'm supposed to be. Understand? But like, the reason why I know in my heart that I'm not being crazy, I'm just being sensitive to the workings of the universe. The workings of the universe. The reason was because after I was done thinking about it, I just wanted to pray. I felt this. Now I felt the presence of the Creator, the Most High. I just say God because that is the easiest way to convey to it. I felt the presence, not as strong as I've also felt it, but like pretty fucking strong. And this need to pray, not to pray for something. This need, I was so grateful. It's like when a giant, I don't know. It's like when a cool car comes in, drives around, or a beautiful girl. Like you have to watch it. You have to be like, oh my God. That's what it felt like. Like the presence of God was here, and He was dropping knowledge, and I felt like I was so grateful. I had to throw myself at His feet. I had to be like, thank you, God, And yeah, I know that religion is not a cool thing to talk about nowadays, especially not like this, because to me, I'm not afraid to say like God is as real as you and me. To me, God is as real. God is realer than us. And like people like to talk about God just to be like, but they ain't really about that shit. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. My father, like I used to even think my dad is crazy, but because he told me like God tells him shit, and he has like got messages and shit, and I was like, shut up, you lying ass, and you're just trying to make me believe. I don't give a fuck what you believe. In the end, everybody's gonna see. When we die, we're all gonna see what's up. So I just tell you how it is. I do believe in God very strongly. I know God is in actuality much more real than we are, because we are so fake to ourselves and to each other. And I realized that like once I lose my fear of death, like I could feel God here on my right side. It wasn't like I felt the hand, but I could feel just like support from behind, like he was doing like, do you go out, do whatever you do, like, because yeah, once you lose your ego, once you lose all that shit you want to do, all that shit you wanna, all the fear, like. And I recognize that in other artists and other people who are successful, they're successful because they lose their ego, they lose their self. They ain't thinking about that oh, I want to make this song so I could be this. Because there are times when I'm writing music and I feel like, okay, I want the next bar to be like this so I can be more like this person, or I can have success like this person and shit, instead of just doing the fucking song and feeling it and being it. Yeah, because I feel like you can do everything in the name of God. It doesn't have to be in the church praising. For me, when I train, when I do something, when I'm moving my body, I'm using the gifts I was given. That to me is praising too. That to me is also telling the Lord what's up. That's all a part of it. That's why sometimes I understand when people say like, because I felt it when someone said like, I didn't write that song. That song just wrote itself. It was a gift from God. That's technically how you get there. If you let yourself go and just write, you don't have to write about God to praise God with your song. You understand? You just have to be conscious about it. Be conscious that first of all, whatever gifts you have was by His discretion, and whatever greatness you achieve is also by His discretion. So when I do something nice, when I'm rapping and I write something nice, I feel good about myself. But I've learned to see it like as not like, oh, I did that, but like, damn, like God let me experience that. That was crazy. Like God let me experience me writing some fucking bars, and God let me experience me doing this high kick stronger than I've ever done it before. Like, damn. it's a bit out there. I gotta admit, it's a bit out there. The whole theory, the whole idea, but it has helped me. Just in 2 days, has calmed me down a lot. My mind, my heart, and like, I'm not afraid to die. If I die, I feel like that's the problem. Like, I'm not afraid to die, and I feel like I'm gonna die soon. Why do I feel like that? I don't want to die soon. I want to be here on this earth and do as much as possible. But like, I feel maybe I'm done. Maybe like this is my last ride on this earth. Like, not like the earth, but like coming back. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the last dance. Michael Jordan. So yeah, I said I was gonna build a joint, but I didn't, and I never did. I will though. So yeah, I ain't got nothing more to say. Yeah, I know it started from a rant. I don't even know how I started, and now we're here talking about God and shit. That's how it is. This is Rev Rambles, and if you did not know, now you do know. Lose yourself. There is no self. This feeling that you get every time you think about losing yourself, losing things that you like, being seen as something bad, being seen as less than, that's not you. That fear of dying, that's your ego. You need to stop identifying with that. And if not, then that's your role. Then it is what it is. So yeah, my name is Rev, not the Reverend Revelation. If you did not know, now you do know. And yeah, have a good day, have a good life, and God bless.